I am currently in a season of building my dream life, and what it does not require is waiting around to be seen and not building. Like, you have to go out and grab these things, especially when you see that God is aligning certain things for you. You have to be so visible that success is almost undeniable. Like, if you keep on doing XYZ, it's almost like it's undeniable, like it will come to you. And I'm starting to realize that a lot of the wealthy women that sit in my chair, what they've done, how they move, how they've been able to navigate like setbacks is the real and true key of it all. You cannot have leverage without having ownership. So the reason why you see so many women, especially Black women, starting businesses, there's a reason behind. You have to understand there's a certain level of freedom that comes with. There's a certain level of leverage that comes with. There's a certain level of choice, ability to even choose that comes with. Ownership, skills, money, and control. A lot of people are in this movement of praise and followers and this and that, and they're not actually building anything. Like, there's a lot of influencers out here where they don't have like an actual brand or anything that you could like truly support, and when they do finally launch one, they're like, oh my gosh, no one's supporting it. Like, why is that? You have to go where you are paid, not praised. The praise is not necessary, number one, and it will come later. And even when you get it, give it all to God, because you know that's where it came from. You have to detach yourself from being chosen. I'm saying these things a little bit robotically. I don't know if it's intentionally or not, but talking about these things honestly exhausts me because I talk about it every day with all my clients. But you have to detach yourself from being chosen. So whether that's social groups, whether it's romantic partners, which is a big one that I feel like a lot of, especially because I grew up around like predominantly white women. I'm like, what? Why do they get to do the bare minimum and still get the most? Why? And then it's also like, it comes from the household too. Like, if you were in a household where you were told like you have to work twice as hard to get half of what they have, no, you actually don't. You actually don't. You can build your own thing and have 100% of the profit. That's moving smarter and not harder. But that's another thing. So basically, detach yourself from being chosen. Forget the social groups. Forget certain environments. Forget what people, like, if someone's telling you like, oh, you're not my type, that's not my preference, blah 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 blah, like, these people are not well, is what I'm telling you. Like, you have to detach yourself. You're trying to be chosen by people who didn't even choose themselves. Make it make sense. You literally only have yourself and God, and that is the only thing. God said, put your trust in no man. You only have yourself and God. So work on that relationship and choose yourself and your stability and your relationship with God above everything else. Honestly, everything else can go. Everything else will go. Environment almost always trumps whatever's going on. So if you're in an environment that you have to like soften up and you have to cover and you have to shrink yourself and you have to over explain and do all of these things, that doesn't serve you. And it's not the environment for you, because the environment for you is going to have you flourishing and not like caving in and like trying to hide these certain parts of yourself. So exit environments that have you shrinking, because they're not going to help you. Another thing is overgiving. So I believe in generosity. I believe in service. I believe in giving. But when you're giving to a point where there's no boundary on the giving, like, you have to give strategically, because sometimes you're actually pouring into a black hole, and that black hole never had any plans for you but to drain you of your resources. And that's what you become. Like, you become a resource to people who are like, oh, she's really giving, like, let me see what else I can get out of her. Overgiving turns you into a resource. It doesn't leave you as a priority where like, okay, you know what, I respect this person, let me keep myself around them, let me level up so that I can, you know, pour into them as well. Like, sometimes it really is about becoming a resource, and that's why you're depleted, and that's why you leave relationships depleted, and that's why you leave friendships depleted. I think in this time that starting your own business is really important. So I would say master one skill even if you don't turn it into a business, at least have some sort of like expression of art or something that you can really master, where if you ever did need to leave like your 9 to 5 or whatever job you have that it's probably not serving you, like, or where you might just be unfulfilled, unhappy, at least you have that skill to fall back on. You might have to, it might be something where you might have to search for it. It might be a talent that's natural. It might be something that you have to develop, take classes for, but always have at least one skill. The next one is, even while you're working on that skill, move in silence. This is another thing that a lot of people don't realize is so power. Like, there's so much power in privacy. Like, just little backstory. I used to have a friend where I used to tell her everything. And it's interesting because this was like a 15-16 year friendship. And the way that we ended was in relation to like the first fight we ever had. And every few years, we would encounter the same situation where I'm like, yo, this is not cool. And now I actually see that as like a monitoring spirit, because I poured a lot into that friendship. And I want to say there's a culture of like, oh, let's spill the tea. And it's really just gossiping about people. And number one, it's going to come back to bite you. And number two, when it really boils down to it, like, you could be venting to, this is why I say go to a therapist or go to someone who's trained to handle this, because you could literally be venting to a monitoring spirit who goes back and takes it back to the devil and is like, all right, here's the new plan, because these are her new plans, because she disclosed them to me before they were done. That's why sometimes a lot of these things, it's like, it's almost like you don't have the discernment to be like, oh, I shouldn't be telling this person. So moving in silence and protecting your plans is like, it's so necessary. Until it's done, no announcement. This is one that, to be honest, it's actually very difficult for me to be around people who exhibit this trait, but it's like trying so hard to be likable and like trying so hard to be digestible. Like, it's actually exhausting to witness, to be honest with you. And I got rid of that trait a long time ago, because I realized very early on that I'm not for everybody. Like, I'm a jokester and my jokes aren't for everybody. And that's just the way that it is. Like, at least in giving up on that a long time ago, I was able to build my tribe like in between that. So yeah, trying to become likable, like, it doesn't last, and people see through charm a lot of the time, especially when it's fake. And I would say focus on respect, because respect almost like outlives charm, because like, people, when they get to know you, they actually begin to respect you, and respect is so much more important, because it's like, if you only have charm, that's so short-lived. I'm starting to realize a lot of environments too, like, if you're in the wrong environment, unfortunately I'm in one right now, but if you're in the wrong environment, it really will take a toll on you. Like, it's not even like, things just feel impossible when you're in the wrong environment. Don't pick the people, pick the environment, because when you pick the environment, even now, like, when I'm working on like something that has to do with my business, I leave the house, I go to a library, I go to a coffee shop, I go to a place where other people are either like working or like working on their academia. Like, it's almost like academic spaces. It's like, once you go there, it's almost like, you know that they're going to be in the same mindset as you, because it's like unconsciously, like, we're constantly grabbing and feeding out in energy and information without even speaking. So it's almost like an energy thing. Like, I have to actually take myself out of my environment and go somewhere else. Money can't buy you happiness, but it can buy you choices. It can buy you space. It can open up the doors to say, okay, you know what? This is not working for me. I at least have the financial stability to get up and move, or leave this person, or leave this environment, or leave this job if you need to, and you'll be okay because you have that financial cushion stability. Also, emotionally, I feel like if you're not dealing with your emotions, you're not going to therapy, those things are going to come back up, and the inner child almost always takes over. And that's why you have like people who are like still 20, 30, 40, 50 crashing out over stuff that, like, you're like, how are you still crashing out about this? But it's like, because it was a wound that's never been dealt with, and it's still being like, it's not healed, essentially. Do not center men. Do not center the community. I know this sounds very bad, but it's something that I'll get into it. Don't center the community and don't center struggle, because when you center these things, you place a focus on them and they become highlighted in your life. So I say don't center the community. I know that sounds really bad, but me personally, doing like centering the community hasn't really, I don't want to say served me, but I center God. All of those things are just extras, but a lot of the times centering yourself, especially in the Black community as women, like it's almost like self-sacrifice. Like you don't have to sacrifice yourself every time to go and run and solve this problem and go and help fix this and go and help fix this struggle. Look at how many things are going on in the world, and who do they call on first? Black women. Why? Don't call me. Call Jesus. Actually, that's the better call every single time. Don't call me. People want you to be a living sacrifice and sacrifice yourself and shrink yourself and put all of your feelings down and put all your thoughts down. Don't center these things and don't center struggle, because especially if that's all you've known, like you actually have to see who you are and where you want to be and how to get there in another way without sacrificing yourself and becoming like just offering yourself up. Like, okay, I guess I'll have to be the one who's the bigger person all the time and has to do this and has to do that. And then let me sacrifice my emotions and my needs. And no, you're allowed to have peace. You're allowed to be in love. You're allowed to have love that's not a struggle love. You're allowed to make choices for yourself, whatever they look like, especially if they benefit you and they're healthy for you. You're allowed to do those things. You're allowed to wear your hair a certain way. You're allowed to do certain things with your body. Like we have this autonomy. So no more self-sacrifice, no more sacrificing your needs to meet the needs of the community, struggles, and men. No more of that. Another thing I would say is actually to create your own definition of success. I feel like there's a lot of definitions of success. For me, it's freedom and just happiness. I know that I can't feel the emotion of happiness all the time, but it's definitely freedom, like financial freedom, mental freedom, emotional freedom, like freedom. That's the thing. Like God actually gave us free will. So I'm very conscious of how I use it now. I don't just do things. I move with intention because it matters. And then after you define your like definition of success, you have to enforce it. Like you have to explain it to yourself, and then you have to enforce it, and you have to train yourself to think like, okay, does this bring me closer or further from who God wants me to be? And the last but not least is actually walking away from situations. This is something that I mastered. I'm sorry. This is something that I mastered a really long time ago. I will send you straight to Block City, okay? I have probably over 500 people on my block list. I've been deactivated for a year because people are crazy, is what I'm trying to tell you. People are crazy. Learn to walk away, and you don't even have to explain yourself. Truly, you really don't, because we're adults. People know exactly what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing. So why are you going to waste your breath on explaining it? What they did wrong, how they hurt you. We're adults. People know exactly what they're doing. So walk away. That is the biggest superpower, is like walking away. Like you almost lose respect for people who don't walk away. Like, why are you still in this situation? Like I remember one time I was dealing with something with that. I was basically fighting with someone, and I was in high school, and one of my friends was asking me, she's like, Crystal, why is this still a problem? And that's all it took. She really asked me, like, why is this still a problem? Like, why are we still talking to this person? Why is this person still a factor in your life? Like, she literally asked me, like, why is this still a problem? Do you know that I had no words? We were literally like 16, and this was coming from someone who loved me. She's like, Crystal, why is this still a problem? Like, she was looking at me like, girl, drop this. And I'll say this. I've never blocked anyone or cut anyone off from like, man, I shouldn't have did that. They almost 9 times out of 10 prove that I made the absolute right choice. So when things feel unsettling, when your intuition is going off, that is discernment. Most of the time, if you're filled with the Holy Spirit, it is discernment. So just walk away. And if you don't know why you feel like you need to walk away, God will show you later. Walk away. I want you to understand, as Black women, we are not overlooked because we lack value. You have to stop proving to people things and just literally start placing yourself, like positioning yourself where you need to be and go there. It's almost like getting in your car, turning the key, and driving to your destination. Stop trying to say, oh, but I have to go here, and maybe if I do this, and maybe if I don't, oh no, it's snowing outside, and maybe I don't have to get into the car. No, you have to start. It's about actionable, applicable steps. Like, what is the application? Like, okay, we put a label to the problem. What is the application? Like, we are constantly going through more things than the average person, so we have to navigate differently. Even with friends, like, there's certain types of people that I don't put myself around. There's certain types of belief systems that I don't put myself around. That might actually be the next video, like some of the things, situations, people that are harmful for Black women and our mental health, and why we need to stop being around them. But until then, please remember that I love you. I thank you for being here, and I hope you're getting through this very evil, cold winter. And until the next video, love you. Bye. I'm sending you good vibes. Sending you good vibes. Sending you good vibes. Oh, I just cracked something. Okay, I have to go.